Hi, welcome to my channel. It's Maria here. In this video, I would like to talk about North Node in Scorpio and South Node in Taurus. Before I get into it, I strongly recommend you guys go back to watch my introductory video of the nodes of the moon, and because I have a little bit different take on it or understanding. So if you watch that first and then come back watch this, it makes a lot more sense. I don't want to repeat myself here. Another thing is I will be only focusing on the constellation Scorpio and Taurus. I will not get into house placement, but just know that house placement also very important. Let's say you have Scorpio North Node in your 7th house, so your North Node would manifest in your relationship area of your life, compares to, let's say you have Scorpio North Node in a 10th house, where it would manifest in your more public or career area of your life. So anyways, let's get into it. From evolutionary or more modern astrology perspective, the North Node, South Node really represents the South Node where we have been, our previous life experience or early life experience, something we're good at, we mastered. Now we're moving towards our North Node, which is the direction of our life or our soul intention, intent to learn the North Node lessons in this lifetime. It's a unfamiliar territory for you and it might feel difficult, but like that's supposed to be the direction you're going. I agreed with this at the beginning of my study of my astrology, but as I expand, my horizon, learning from different people, and incorporating my spiritual knowledge, I think I would more incline towards to the spiritual perspective of the nodal axis. So before I'm telling you guys like, hey, you were towards South Node, like you were very materialistic, very possessive and self-reliant. Now this life you're gonna face with the life's ups and downs and difficulties and being vulnerable and sharing and all that. I could easily say that, but I would be doing a disservice to you guys. So I want to go a little bit deeper than that. That probably something you guys need to incorporate too, as it's like the Scorpio thing, going deep. So from spiritual perspective, like our soul came to this physical reality to experience this world and really like forget about its true nature, the veil of forgetting, and then finally like come to realizations like, oh, I'm not this physical body, like I have this eternal soul waiting for me to return. So it's like this divine play going on in the background, where it's playing game of forgetting who it is and trying to awaken to its true nature. So when our soul incarnates to this realm, like it's trying to experience a different type of desires in this world. So Taurus is one of the desires, and Scorpio archetype is another type of desire. Let's say you guys having your South Node in Taurus, let's just assume that your soul exhausted that desire. Like you have done everything Taurus. You really pleased your 5 senses. You had the good food, you had good clothes, you really enjoy this earthly pleasures, and you like to be grounded, security, stability, and you had those experiences. If you don't believe in a past life or spirit, just assume that this is how your belief system, your inclination towards the stability, safety, and just wanting to overall have a simple life and have a grounded life. You came with that belief system. However, life throws you in this ups and downs, the the tornado of life serve you around, and then you find it really challenging because now your soul wants to experience the Scorpio side of the life. So there's no judgment, there's no saying that like, oh, you should forget about Taurus. Like, no, we do not forget about Taurus because that's our experience, and we just gonna build upon that. Because at the end of your life, what really matters is your memory, what you have experienced. None of the other things is gonna matter, because you can't really bring all the wealth or your accumulation to your grave. Only thing you can take with you is your memory, your experience. So you had a great experience with Taurus, and now you're trying to taste the Scorpio side of things, and which is more a little bit darker side of the life, because life is not always rainbow and unicorns. There's gonna be the ugliness. 8th house is really the Scorpio ruled house related with our gains and loss, death, rebirth, tax, like all the things that we don't really talk about in day-to-day life, but we do experience it. And the best way to like integrate, because I mean, I kind of stand by like integration of your north-south node. We're not really like fragmenting ourselves, like get rid of this, incorporate this. We're kind of incorporating all the 12 archetypes on the zodiac wheel to make a holistic experience. So when your soul exhausts all the desires, and then it goes back to where it came from. It's like, okay, I experienced everything. Now I know who I am, and now I'm no longer like attached to this physical world, because I have experienced it all. So anyways, come back to Taurus and Scorpio. So you guys were self-reliant, you supported yourself. Basically, you had a security, groundedness, stability in your previous life, or maybe other lives. You developed that sense of security, but it was based on the external possessions, your environment. Maybe you have stable family environment, you had stable job you did for 50 years, your relationship, you got married and stayed in marriage for 30 years, like everything was stable. There was no huge ups and downs. And this lifetime and life is going to throw you to all kind of circumstances that trying to help you develop that emotional security, because our external security can be taken away, can be washed off the life's turmoil. But when we develop our emotional security, we can withstand any challenges. And another huge lesson with Scorpio is really accepting the suffering and the darkness of life. Although we can whitewash Scorpio saying transformation and, you know, intense, deep, but there's so much darkness to Scorpio. I have a Scorpio sun myself, so I just can tell you guys that it's not always like rainbows, unicorns. It's definitely painful, and you have to surrender to that experience. You might fight a lot, because having Taurus South Node, like it might be like too much for you to handle. Let's say someone like me been through Scorpio life my whole life, ups and downs and all the big events, losing people, my life changing all the time, that I can't even feel grounded. And then at some point, like my life's still changing, but I don't feel that emotional turmoil anymore, because I'm adjusted. I'm grown. I have my own internal security where nothing happens outside will knock me over. So although we complain that life is unfair, did this to me, but at the end, it's like molding our power, sense of security. So at the end, we can rely on ourselves. And same for you guys. You might go through a lot of changes in your life, things not going to plan according to plan, or people are betraying you, leaving you. Maybe you might experience early deaths in your family environment, losing someone that you love, the all kind of scorpionic event, suddenly losing your job and you don't know where you're going, a lot of insecurity, instability. But through all those experience, you're developing that emotional security where you can stand still no matter what happens outside. Certain things, like you might react like, oh my God, like I don't know how to deal with this. But if you bring that same thing to another like person with a lot of Scorpio in their chart, like how would you react? Like, oh, that happens to me all the time, like not a big deal. So some people may say you guys, you're overreacting, but not really, because Taurus had an experience of serenity, stability, peacefulness, the previous lifetime. So it's not easy for you guys to process that turmoil at least the beginning stage. Like maybe in your 20s, it might be too intense for you, but later on you kind of adapt and your emotional security start developing and becomes crystallized. So from there it gets better. So most of us normally start incorporating our North Node lessons, start from maybe 30s after our Saturn return. So we have more maturity to deal with those life's unfortunate, and we learn to surrender. Because the more you try to be in control, you try to like, this shouldn't happen this way, it should happen that way. Like life is like, no, 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 you're not in control, I'm in control, I will make whatever happens. So until you surrender to that experience, it just kind of make you suffer. And another thing with Scorpio is like also the acceptance of the darkness. It's not always people love each other, people are nice, but people also violent with each other, people kill each other, people hurt each other. There's so much darkness to the life, and if you can make peace with that darkness, like yes, that's part of life, and the light and darkness always coexist and they dance together. But if you at some point like, this should not happen, people should not do this, why this even happened, like that denial will make you suffer. So the earlier you accept this fact, your life becomes more easy. I guess the external doesn't change, but from within you develop that peace of mind. And if I go back to my spiritual sense, if you watch my introduction video, I talk about how we all going to the same direction, where we all awakening to our true nature. So North Node, South Node, it could be like our ego desires, where our ego wants this, wants that. So we kept incarnating because of our attachments and certain belief system that life should be this way or not that way. But when you awaken to your true nature, which is you are part of the collective consciousness and the unity consciousness, and there's no beginning or ending. So you stop chasing, you stop putting your happiness on a pedestal. You choose to become make peace with reality at this moment. You accept reality at this moment, and you are at peace at this moment, because our ego can live in the past and the future. And it's helpful for you guys if you're going through turmoil, you don't know how to, move through that experience. Just keep yourself present. Know that at this moment you do not need anything. You are protected, you are whole. Have a faith in something bigger than yourself. Always know that no matter what happens outside, everything will be okay inside. I hope you find this helpful. If it resonates, let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. I will talk to you guys in my next video.